performance that we wanted to show you.
Thank you so much. That's really sweet.
Could you please introduce yourself?
Hey, of course. My name is Bernadette Belle. I'm Singaporean, representing as Miss Universe Singapore in 2020. And I'm most famously known for the person that talked about Stop Asian Hate on a beauty pageant.
So how did you like our performance?
I really loved it though. I think it's one of those really cool moments where other people have replicated what I've done with my costume, and some people even did like a makeup Stop Asian Hate on their lips. So it's just really crazy the kind of creativity that can go into it.
Some of the viewers who have not watched your performance in the Miss Universe, let's take a look at the video together.
Singapore is a place for all races, and they are very proud to be Asian.
People saw the letters written on your cape. There was a lot of clapping.
The moment that I turned around, it was like an uproar, like literally like a lion roaring behind me. And I felt like that was just so exhilarating to feel that energy and to feel that what was said on my costume made a huge impact.
How did you come up with the idea?
It was a little bit of a time crunch. I literally had 1 week before I had to fly out to the US. We literally had only 2 days to complete that and to make sure that it got shipped out on time to me. I just decided that the most obvious thing that could identify somebody to a country is their flag. But then to write something behind it would mean that there is a purpose and there is like a strong message that goes behind it as well.
What was that you wanted to achieve by wearing that outfit?
Some people turn a blind eye and think that violence and racial discrimination in the midst of the pandemic is just people making things up. I just felt like a lot of the violence ended up being very targeted, and just trying to put a spotlight on these issues will make people realize that this is a very serious thing, that we should definitely be calling out against these racial injustices in communities that literally did nothing to you.
It was quite interesting that you picked Miss Universe as one of that platform. Is there a reason to it?
I wanted people to notice that Singapore can be known for things outside of, you know, medicine or law or finance. And I wanted to make sure that I was saying something that would represent the Asian community very well. I want to celebrate my Asian features, and instead of bringing it all the way up to my brow to make it look more like a Caucasian hooded eyelid, I decided to just bring it out to the side so that celebrated my Asian eyes. I mean, that's what I have naturally. So I joined Miss Universe, but I didn't just join as a contestant. I also came there as somebody that wanted to speak a message of Stop Asian Hate and Asian representation.
What was the reason you entered or you decided to participate in Miss Universe?
A lot of people actually perceive beauty pageants as being archaic, because back then it was all about the beauty standards and being able to call out beauty standards based on the proportions of your body, how tall you were, how much makeup you were putting on. But I think what was really nice about Miss Universe in particular was that they focused more on their ability to influence community. Beauty pageants made me realize that beauty pageants are all about not so much beauty pageants in itself, but it just revolves around the kind of narrative that you want it to be. That was one challenge that I really wanted to take up. How can I change people's perception and the narrative revolving around beauty pageants in Singapore?
You made a very big impression on the Stop Asian Hate movement. Is this something that you recently got passionate about?
I come from a place where I was an immigrant myself, and I understand how maybe being in a foreign land, you don't feel like you have certain privileges, or you can't even say anything because you're not included. So being somebody that was born from the Philippines and then moved out to China as well to live abroad, and then moving out to Australia also to live abroad for studies, and then coming also to Singapore, just those moments where I've been alone by myself has made me more sensitive to these kinds of communities. This time it was just so charged with so much hate and so much violence. I just wanted to stand up and say that this is not okay. We should be fighting for one another, not fighting against one another.
Could you explain the country and get us a grasp of what it is like to live in Singapore?
Singapore is known for being a multicultural hub. And I think one of the telltale signs that makes Singapore known as a multicultural country are their hawker centers. So hawker centers are basically food courts where we have a myriad of different cuisines. You can literally go to just one spot and you could get Japanese food, you could get Chinese food, you could get like roti prata. That just proves to show how integrated all these different races are to one another. As much as Singapore does the best that it can to strive towards a more cohesive society, to make sure that the government is trying to encourage people to integrate between different races, there's definitely moments where like job opportunities are not fair. So those things do exist. I'm not going to say that they don't.
Is that why you are vocalizing about migrant workers?
Yeah, I think it's really important for me to work with minorities. Like, if anything, I'm a minority advocate. Being born in the Philippines and then moving out to live abroad has broadened up my perspective, especially in the way that I saw how people were being treated and how things were different. Singapore is outstanding in the sense that we've got amazing public transit, we've got a very clean environment. But then at the same time, I realized that there was such a stark contrast to the way that migrant workers being treated compared to everybody else. When we would be on the road and everybody would be asked to wear their seatbelt, but then I would see trolleys, trucks, where migrant workers would be sitting at the back of a truck with literally no seats, and they're just holding onto the metal grail.
So before you entered Miss Universe, you mentioned that you were doing some modeling or acting.
So I actually work in the entertainment industry, mainly as a model. I do commercial work for TV and print ads. So I decided, look, I've been doing this for a while. Let me branch out into other things.
What was your life before even going into the entertainment world?
I was not at all in the same scope of what I'm doing now. I used to be the person that was just so shy and would literally get anxiety over when I should press the bus bell to get off of the bus. So I was a very shy and reclusive person, and I really liked studying math, and so I actually graduated with an accounting degree, and entertainment was never something that I even entertained because I didn't grow up in a household where they encouraged beauty. In fact, they were more of the parents that told me, no, you can't shave your legs, or no, you can't put like nail polish. How did I get into entertainment was actually by sheer luck. Like, I was just working at Abercrombie and Fitch. Being a part of an Abercrombie and Fitch crew opened me up to other opportunities. I started working as a commercial model, and so it just slowly unfolded by chance. It wasn't something I ever looked into.
So there is no regret in not taking the accounting or the finance field, but to join the entertainment industry?
There's definitely no regret, just because it's amazing to meet people in different facets of their life, and it's interesting to speak to people like you and to be able to open up my perspective. I'd rather connect with people and make that about my mission.
So how would you like to use your influence?
I think it's all about being the right spokesperson for what I'm doing. I just want to break barriers and try and shatter the glass ceiling of what people think. I would want to be a really good example for people to see that you could actually cross borders and you can make an impact globally. I also just want to work and have a message, a strong message behind it, kind of like Miss Universe.
What kind of person do you want to become?
I think one thing that a lot of people do is they like to just label you as one title. And I feel like that's just so debilitating because we have lots of different passions and your work is not who you are. I definitely want to be somebody that tries my hand at being successful in many different parts of my life.
So, do you have any last message to our audiences?
I think it's so important to just be able to embrace yourself. If you are the sort of person who is very vocal, I want you to be able to do it in a kind way, but never really shy away from who you really are. We are all strong, and we as Asians, we can make a mark. And I want to see more of us be unapologetic for taking up space, because there's so many things about us, so many cultures as well, that define an Asian person. You can't even box it under one territory. And I think it's very beautiful that we can be so diverse in our culture. And I just want everybody to know that we should embrace every bit of ourselves.